Right folks, I want to make this video just to show how 3 top-end Daiwa poles perform at 13 metres. Now I say top-end because they're all over £1,000 quid, in fact they're all over 1,500 quid in price. But the most expensive of these retails at about 5.5 grand. We've got one here that's about 1,600 quid and one pole only about 1,800 quid. And they are the Daiwa G90, the Daiwa Tournament Professional, the original version that Wickers Langland do exclusively, and Daiwa's flagship pole, the Daiwa Air Z Pro. So, I'm going to start out with the most expensive. These are all set up at 13 metres. So Al, if you just waggle the Air Z Pro at 13 metres for me, just let me have a look down the midsection. Like a poker, innit? Yeah. Look at that. Look how stiff. There's next to no giving that 5 and 6, and the responsiveness of it is incredible. It's straight back. That's what you pay your money for. How quick it recovers. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Perfect. And the next most expensive is the Tournament Pro Original. Pole. This pole's 25 years old, folks. So nearly as old as you, Tom. Nearly as old as me now. The interesting thing to note with this is how long this number 1 section is. So it's actually a little bit longer, you'll see. It's not much longer than the other one. Okay, give it a little waggle for us. And again, not much difference really. Nope. Slightly less recovery speed, I'm saying, but not much at all. And that is £3,000 minimum cheaper, depending on where you get them from.
Yeah, 3.5 grand.
3.5 grand cheaper. And now we'll go into the G90, which is a couple of £100 cheaper again. Look how responsive that is for the money. Incredible. Now, this is not all about saying don't buy a flagship pole. That's not what I'm saying, because there's plenty of examples of why an Air Z Pro outscores all the others when you add those last 2 sections that Alan's got down there. But I'm just going to do the walk of death down the pole, Ali, so wish me luck. Ooh, that scared me, Alan, that did, moving it towards me. So we're going to go back down here because I want to talk to Alan. But our point with this is, if you fish less than 13 metres, or 30 metres or less, we're just trying to save them a bit of money really, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Not always about selling the deer.
Come here, let's have a shoulder. I've got to get off.
Come on, love.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah.
Right, so these 3 poles. Alan, what's your thoughts on them?
Right. Straight away, I would say, if you're going into a normal, as I say, tackle shop, as in your local tackle shop, I would always just go for the G90. You can only buy that as a 16 metre package, but for 1,600 quid, you're getting, or 1,700 quid, whatever it is now, you're getting a fantastic package, because there's 2 different packages to buy. You've already got then your 14 and 16 metre sections there if you ever wanted to use them, but as a 13 metre pole, which we can do another test as well if we wanted to, is there ain't much difference between a G90 and an Air Z Pro. If I were blindfolded, I would be struggling to tell the difference between the 2 at 13 metres. In my opinion, there isn't 3.5 grand's worth of difference between 13 metres. But if I was only going to buy one 13 metre pole, it would be the Tournament. But we're blessed at our shop that we've got that. As I said, most local tackle shops haven't got that one. So I would just buy a G90 every time, because it'll do everything, like we've discussed before, and value for money, you ain't going to get much better than that. But, and this is where the book comes then, it starts...
This is where the book comes, pal.
Ah, very good. This is where the book comes then. If you're going to fish all day at 14 or 16 metres, this is where you pay your money.
Oh, and it's worth, as someone who uses an Air Z Pro, it's worth every penny.
Yeah, because you've got a G90 and you've got an Air Z Pro up to 13 metres. You've already said on a previous video you only use your G90 because there isn't the difference in money's worth. But as soon as you want to fish at 16 metres, which one you're going to pick to fish all day?
Air Z Pro.
Air Z Pro. And this is where you pay your money. In them 2 book sections there, I don't know the physics of everything and how it works up at Daiwa, but to me, in layman's terms, that's where you're paying your money for a 16 metre pole, is in that 14 metre and 16 metre section. Because as soon as you put them onto these 3 poles, it's just the AirZ Pro is just different gravy.
Can I ask you a question as well, mate? Because we picked on Daiwa here.
Yeah,
That's a range we know about.
Yeah.
But here, look, we've got everything. Browning, Preston, Shimano. Now, in my experience, the same goes right through
for every make.
Yeah.
Every make.
If you're not going to fish past 13 metres, you can save yourself a few quid, can't you?
100%. Like just for instance, Matrix. They do now the MTX1, MTX2, MTX3, MTX4 and MTX5. As in, one being bottom of the range and the X5 being top of the range. If I were only going to pick one pole out of the MTX range, I'd have an MTX3. If I were going to buy a Preston pole, now they do the X10s, they do the Superium X50s, the Superium X70s and the Superium X90s. As an all-rounder, I wouldn't know which one to pick really out of the 50 or the 70. They're both cracking poles and there's only a few £100 difference in both of them. If I were going to the Browning range, I'd happily fish at 13 metres with the Z8 all day long. But if I'm going to go on my canal and catch 10 pounder roach on EMP at 16 metres, I would definitely try and go for a top of the range one. Now, because you go to a Browning Sphere, you're going to a Daiwa AirZ Pro, you're going to a Superium X90. That's when you tell the difference. When you start chucking them around all day at 16 metres and shipping in and out quick with small fish on, or trying to ship out a bit quicker with a cup on or whatever, that's when I think you can tell the difference.
100% agree, mate.
So if you're not going to fish over 13 metres, there's no need to have that badge to say I've got an AirZ Pro, because what's the point? You've spent £3,000 on some. You've basically spent, I think, £3,000 on 2 sections what you're never going to use or get the best out of.